television.
And suddenly you're part of a new mesh of people, programs, archives, ideas.
How can you kind of make new identities that don't depend on man-made frontiers?
Hello, hello, bonjour, and welcome to Disturbance, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us online tonight. The piece you've just seen is an installation by the artist Anya Palamartschuk, and they use film and projection to explore idea of deconstruction and performative, the performance around our identities. Their installation is a really pivotal point for tonight's show, as we also collaborated with them for the live performances. My name is Deen, and I'm pronounced as they, them, and I'm the curator and the producer of Disturbance. I will be your host tonight. We are currently broadcasting live from Ugly Duck, from our headquarters at 4749 Tanner Street in London. Ugly Duck is an art organization that revitalizes empty and underused buildings. One of our main missions is to connect artists and the audience together, and that's what we're going to try to do again tonight through the waves of the intergalactic internet. Thank you to our tech wizard, Rob Hallart, and with the performer, we're going to take you, hopefully, on a journey. Disturbance is an LGBTQ project. We support and promote underrepresented voices and diversity in the art. It's a platform for exploration around dance, performances, installation, and we're using live stream as our creative medium. This project has been made possible with the support of Team London Bridge. They are a local organization, and thanks to them, we've been able to select and support 7 artists based in Southwark. Tonight, you'll discover their fantastic work, including video art, performance on Zoom, and performance here at Ugly Duck. Sometimes you might not even know if it's happening live or if it's pre-recorded. And that's kind of also what Disturbance is about. So it's about blurring boundaries between the digital and the physical, questioning notion of past, present, and future. So we're live on Twitch, so there's a comment session if you want to share your thoughts with us. The program will kind of appear throughout the show. And without more further ado, I will let you enjoy this pleasant journey through Disturbances. Thank you. Next, we have the video artwork 4x3 by Amy Pennington. The film examines the artist experience of growing up queer and discovering their identity in a small northern town with nowhere to go except from television.
Remember a couple of months ago when I was going to have a friend stay?
Yeah, Linda, wasn't it?
Or,
That's right, and she never turned up, and you'd gone to town to make that fancy meal. What about her? Is this got something to do with her?
in a way. We used to work together. Got on pretty well. She's gay.
What are you telling me?
One night I went over to her place and she made a pass at me. But as they say, I made my excuses and left.
What the... Is she still hassling you or something? Do you want me to go and sort her
No,
out?
Dad, she's not still hassling me. I haven't seen her since.
What then?
I wouldn't have been there if it wasn't what I wanted. I knew she was gay. I liked her. I just got scared.
What are you telling me?
You know what I'm telling you.
You can't be one of those. You can't be. I don't believe you.
It's true.
No.
There is nothing wrong with being choosy, Ellen.
Right, exactly. It's not like I'm looking for perfection. I just want somebody special, somebody that I click with.
And obviously you didn't click with Richard. Has there ever been anyone you felt you clicked with? And what was his name?
Susan. I can't believe you're back here. I was really beginning to think you'd walked. You must have been through hell.
I'm where I want to be now.
Meaning not back with Sean?
Hardly.
I couldn't believe him turning up here like that. Had to mean you'd chucked him though.
Nikki, I don't want to talk about Sean.
Sure. But I'm not wrong about why you couldn't marry him, am I?
Look, Sean and I were never going to work out. I knew that as soon as he moved in with me.
Nothing to do with what you felt for me. Why can't you tell me that I mean something to you?
Of course you mean something.
Say that again.
Look, it doesn't matter what the hell I feel, Nikki. You're a prisoner in my charge. I can't take advantage of you.
You wouldn't be.
Look, while it's my job to lock you up, there's no way we can be equal, Nikki.
Look, wait. I'm not saying any of it's going to be easy, but it's not impossible, is it? If we both want
That's
to
what I'm
try.
trying to say to you. I don't want to try and pretend that these aren't the facts. Look, how can I do my job when I'm breaking my own rules? I'm sorry, Nikki, but there's no way.
Well, you obviously care more about your bloody career than you do about me. I must be mad. Of course I'm not worth risking your precious job for, not when you can nip down the garden centre and pick up another boyfriend. Because that's what you'd rather have, isn't it, Helen? Then you won't be breaking any rules.
I nearly didn't come back to this. Look, my back is up against the wall. This is my last chance to do some good. I want you to help me, Nikki. Okay, go.
Daddy and I are talking right now, okay? Please just let us talk.
Would you like to explain your comment?
You don't want to be here, so don't bother coming back. We've got everything under control, so save yourself the gas mileage.
I will not suffer that tone from you. Do you understand me? I work too hard.
It's always the excuse, isn't it? You work too hard. Well, I couldn't care less how hard you work. What's the sense in trying to support a family that you don't even care about?
That's it. Goodbye, Eddie. I'll call you in a few days.
You're not going anywhere.
You get out of that doorway.
No, this is one conversation that you can't run away from. You don't want to talk about Tim's death or about Mum being sick or even why she's sick. You don't want to face the reality of why your daughter's been on and off prescription drugs for the past 2 years. Well, that's fine too. But there's one thing we're going to talk about, and that's
You
me.
calm yourself!
I will not calm down, and I will not be quiet. If you want to resolve this, then ask me.
Ask you what?
The question. Ask me the question again. Ask me if I'm gay. Ask me.
You are not gay.
Yes, I am. You know it. I see how you look at me, and I know you know. Think about the way you treated me and the way you treated Tim. Because he was the real son, and I was different. And as hard as you've tried to stamp it out and ignore it, I have tried harder. I have tried harder than you to be quiet and to forget it and not bother my family with my problems. But I can't try anymore because it hurts. I'm sorry, Dad. Andy, I'm sorry. I don't want to be going through this, but I am.
How long have you been practicing?
Always. Since I was little. My mum used to, she had a lot of power, like you.
Oh, I'm not. I don't have much in the way of power, really. I mean, most of my potions come out soup. Besides, spells going awry, friends in danger. I'm definitely nothing special.
No, you are.
I'm glad you wanted to get together. I know it's late.
I was happy you called.
We'll start out slow.
Okay. Willow?
Yeah.
Start out slow doing what?
Oh. We're gonna float the rose, then use the magics to pluck the petals off, one at a time. It's a test of synchronicity. Our minds have to be perfectly attuned to work as a single delicate implement.
Cool.
And it should be very pretty.
Worked.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, especially everyone in between. The next performance is called Clever at Seeing Without Being Seen. The artist performer, Lee Campbell, makes experimental films and poetry performances about being gay and working class in the UK. Tonight, he is performing live from his house, using Zoom as his creative medium.
Aye, 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 aye. Discover the same other, whilst under the cover, creeping, seeping, peeping, covert operations, my teenage fascinations, awkward altercations with non-queer populations, sensations that taught me, if ever they caught me, side cautiously deliberately blur, words that infer derogatory slur. I got very clever about being seen, spending longer looking at George Michael than learning his lyrics. My sexy Italian geography teacher, my imagination in your class took me everywhere. Catching a glimpse of Andrew in the changing room, what a sight for sore eyes. Baking scenes on TV, Dad trying to hide his discomfort, and sometimes not. Chelsea versus Arsenal, 1996. Dad watched the match. I watched the players. Dad remembers the midfielder's tackle. I remember the midfielder's tackle. Dad remembers telling me that as I'm into football, I might like rugby. I remember agreeing.
You're up yet another notch on Kiss, the sound of young London. Tomorrow night, Saturday, you catch me, Judge Jules, alongside Jeremy Healy for the return of the Swell, that's at the Box in Brixton. Also for the High Society birthday party with a massive lineup of DJs, including
Discover the same other whilst under the cover. 94, me a boy, no more. I needed to see men like me. Bunk off school to where was cool. Shaved my hair to fit and wear. Disco beats fill London streets. Mixtape boy, so much joy. Amongst gays like me, who gaze and sing. See me, see Lee. Brighton, my first gay pub. Queen's Arms, George Street. Heart aflutter, legs like mush. The street was George, my previous crush. Here's where I learnt, bigger the fish, bigger the tackle. Bigger the fish, bigger the tackle.
Aye.
Early noughties in my early 20s.
Aye.
The King's Arms, Soho. I discovered bears and cubs don't just live in bars. Cruising you, will you cruise me back? Men bruising me like I was the wrong kind of fat. Cruising for a bruising, bruising whilst cruising. Include, exclude. All welcome here to this members club, promoting itself as convivial pub.
Cruising you, will you cruise me back? Men bruising me like I'm the wrong kind of fat.
All welcome here to this members club, promoting itself as convivial pub, but please adhere to our idea of what is there and what is club. Always 2 steps forward, always 2 steps back.
Cruising you, will you cruise me back? Men bruising me like I'm the wrong kind of fat.
Bullied at school for being gay, now bullied by gays for being wrong fat. A community that preaches, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, be you, but not you. How fucked up is that? I could feel the words in the stare of this most uptight bear. You could do with losing a few, but the only thing I was losing was my mind. Just when I thought I'd finally caught the eye of a rather nice guy as I stood at the bar with my Stella Artois. You found the matches, your coldness pushed me back into the heat and fire and flames of those playground games that names and shames those who do not aspire to be Mr. Muscular hyphen heteronormative. Thank you, Mr. How to Kill Desire.
Twink, otter, wolf. Which one am I?
And just when I thought I'd finally caught the eye of a rather nice guy, who I swear did peek at my bent over butt cheek, which made me think he may buy me a drink, come over and ask when was I here last, and finally extinguish parts of my past.
Too fat to be a cub. Not
No,
fat enough to be
body
a bear.
shame.
Too fat to be a cub. Not fat enough to be a bear. Too fat to be a cub.
No, wrong kind of fat. Bear, twin, cub, chubber, chubby chaser. Me, over the painbow.
fit, fat, fit, fat, fit, fat, fit, fat, fit, fat, fit, fat. Here is a disruption. We are the disruptors, young queer people. We're space architects, imagineers. We create spaces that destroy our fears. We survive in spaces where we thrive and our beauty comes alive. Yes, spaces we create, we animate by constant of instinct, say the right thing, body image, we're feeling quite oppressed ourselves. How can I forget when I once met a guy I found on the internet through his Bacardi and Coke and cigarette smoke? This excuse for a bloke cracked joke after joke.
Blue-eyed boy Lee, I love your dark, hairy legs. Shame the rest of your frame is lard pie from Greg's. Be more like me on spinach and eggs. You can't be a cub, you're far too old. Gays are so vain, don't believe what you're told. Put those legs out on show if you want to get sold. Wear shorts all year long if you want to get sold. It's not too cold. Your legs are your assets, don't believe what you've read, that it's inside that counts and the thoughts in your head. Wisdom and words and that thing called romance versus getting inside another guy's pants. I'm afraid to say, when it comes to the gay, the snake inside beats poem for play. Gays may lie, but believe me, they squirm if the snake in your Calvins is the size of a worm. Bigger the butt, the better, it's true. If you're more than 8 inches, you lucky boy, you. Parade your legs, remember all that I've said. It's the only way you get a guy into bed. I'm getting quite tripped on these bodies all ripped. Imagine mine stripped and everything flipped. Mr. Spinach and Eggs, stick your rules and regs in the hole at the back of the top of my legs. No body shame, no wrong kind of fat. Smash the fads, rip the mags, smash the fads, rip the mags. We are a community anti-being controlled, yet there are those who are persistently told too fat to be a cub, too slim to be a bear. When will we get over the labels and the stereotypes and just be? Stick your rules and regs in the hole at the back of the top of my legs. No body shame, no wrong kind of fat. Smash the fads, rip the mags, just be.
Welcome back en direct from Ugly Duck. This was a great performance by Lee Campbell, and I just wanted to add that he's using the projection that is projected on his body are actually all from his own footage, archive footage. Right now, we're going to welcome Valeria Radchenko, who's a multimedia artist and a music producer. Tonight, they're going to present their latest piece, Elsewhere, that they've produced especially for Ugly Duck and for this edition of Disturbance. It's an audiovisual performance, and it's a very emotional, dreamlike experience that is exploring notion of transformation and being in another space in your mind when you can't physically move. So it's very mindful, and it's amazing. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks.
we will be screening a piece by Kijimu. Kijimu was a duo consisting of lovers April Lin and Jasmine Lin, exploring the interstices of movement, visual media, identity, and the global Asian diaspora as respectively Chinese Swedish and Taiwanese American. The film, Reality Fragment 160921, follows two people in the process of reality curation as they create their own spaces against and via understanding of distance. They go through the motions of growing themselves by growing their universes.
It's probably for the better that this isn't verifiable, right? I mean, what purpose would that serve anyways? To have it confirmed as truth is pretty useless. I don't even know if it would make it more true than it is now. And that truth would just need to be verified anyways. It's not accurate now, it will never be accurate. Every time I see this before me, it deteriorates into something else, and that's an infinite process. The bits don't matter, they don't care. If every person's reality is their subjective truth, what stops my memories from having each their own reality and therefore being true? Every time the person recalls a memory from deep within, their brain reconstructs from a set of defective puzzle pieces. This untainted relic evolves unconsciously, partaking in gradual corruption apace with the realm of digital decay. What a disturbing yet comforting notion, that no matter how she smells, how she laughs, how she moves, I will never be able to remember her accurately, but rather infinitely.
你在想什么啊？我问你啊，你现在在想什么？你一天用了那么多精力，想了什么？说吧。
我在想，我每天都想，我整天想，我们那天多么完美。
In the queerdom of Tongzhi lay two people. The sun was in its fifth era of gentle shine, and they were laying on fabrics in the matted grass. Cyan blue dragonflies, fully saturated with summer light, were dancing around them. Admiring the shades of sunlight and how it bounced off the gradients of green, every being felt the labour of love that photosynthesis persisted in giving, never asking for anything in return. Each shoot twinkled as it spread its roots further. Each root stretched out into new places they had never been before, extending the matrix, which by default ensured its own growth and that of others. the two people immersed in repose were similarly intertwined, their limbs interlocked, their scents interlingering. When they went, they took their fabric with them, unflattened the grass, and left. The only remnant of their presence was their scents, which I thought left a twinge of hopeful tension in the air. To reach Tongzhi, you must pass through 5 spheres of content. It is not a test, nor has it ever been. You are not allowed, you allow yourself. I remember when these two people entered Tongzhi. They passed through the bamboo forest and looked at it up and down from close and afar. Beauty surrounded them. This they could feel, and this feeling they did not obstruct, but let flow. Tears and sweat and laughter flowed in a stream, passing through their entities as naturally as any sensation would, unhindered. They held each other and let the flow continue from fingers into skin, stretching out along their spines, spreading upwards into the dense membrane of the neck, spreading downwards into the tailbone, the knees, the feet, the toes, and back into the ground from whence it came. Next time I saw them, one was climbing along this tree that had fallen into slumber, resting on its fellow plantlings it had supplied growth to since all these decades ago. Carefully, they asked permission before planting their step. Rest on me. Use me to see like you would not have seen before, the tree said. But learn my name and don't you ever forget it. I am Chengjiang Shu, and I want to help you explore, but I will not be downtrodden in the process. And so they let their bodies fall securely in place against each other, resting in each other's limbs, as the person climbed up and down and walked around softly to disembark gently and thank Chengjiang Shu for their support. No states last forever, and this is one such history too. It's time to go back. I heard a look rustling beneath the canopy as I completed my evening float. They were so comfortable, from within and without, gently tugging at each other's heartstrings, braiding them so close their shadows had long ago merged into one. I know, a sigh responded. Chests heaved with controlled deep breaths, yet with each footfall, a layer of reluctant responsibility was shed, reborn into a promise of revisit. Tongzhi is not a place of residence, nor a place you discover, and thus not a place you forget. If you have allowed yourself, you inhabit it, and you are welcome always. My heart sang these truths into the night sky. The full moon glowed in its 7th and strongest night, and the two people and their healed fragments continued on to create another home beyond this one. I hand these over to you. Please handle them gently. Tuck them away in your own library of reality fragments. As I will do too. What kind of material will you group this together with? Or will you start a whole new classificatory system? Do you have any questions? I want us to understand that we are makers of this film too. That's all.
Monologue by FAUCI. Act 1, Scene 1. A portal has opened. This is a place for healing, somewhere for pain to process, a place to mourn and a place for sorrow, with the allowance to appreciate the beauty birthed from pain.
Jonathon Luke Baker is a multidisciplinary artist. They are an incredible dancer and also a filmmaker. Tonight, we're going to present their latest production made here at Ugly Duck. The piece is about reincarnation and about illusion. It's about the process of when we, as queer people, we make fake realities to either protect ourselves, invent ourselves, but also sometimes destroy ourselves. The work explores the moment where this fake reality comes crashing down and the fantasy is broken. The video might contain flashing light, so be careful if you're sensitive to this, but also enjoy.
Okay, welcome back. We're still from Ugly Duck live. This is the end of tonight. This is the end of the show. I hope you had a good evening, and despite certain, maybe some small difficulties, technical difficulties, you still managed to enjoy the performances and the artwork and the videos that we presented to you tonight. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone involved, all the artists, Robert Hall, our live stream tech wizard, Graham, who's been incredibly helpful on the cameras, and Team London Bridge for their support. So thank you to you for joining us online as well. And if you have any kind of feedback or creative idea you want to send us, please grab our email on Ugly Duck's website or follow us on social media and get in touch, because we want to hear your ideas. Thank you so much. Bye.